you need to prepare the answer in 4 statements. You need to prepare the answer in 4 statements. So, this you kindly make note of the template. What are those 4 statements that you need to do? So, statement number 1, computation of gross GST payable, computation of gross GST payable on outward supplies. On outward supplies means this is your FCM liability. Computation of gross GST payable on outward supplies. And you need to prepare particulars, then value will help you sometimes to do the reversal of ITC, exempted turnover, taxable turnover, there it will help us. So, value column also you try to make. Then CGST, SGST and IGST. Always the first question will involve place of supply also by default, which means that we need to categorize the transaction as intrastate or interstate applying place of supply and put it in the respective places. So, particulars, value, then CGST, SGST, IGST. Now, you will see one transaction, and what is the first thing that you need to know is that outward supply. You have to take outward supply only, be careful. You have to take outward supplies, not the inward supplies, outward supplies. You need to see only outward supplies. So, see that transaction. That transaction is not a supply. That transaction is not a supply. You write why it is not a supply. In exam, in this place itself, don't write note separately below. Don't write note separately below. So, in this itself you write down, in the table itself you write down, and value you don't have to take, CGST, SGST, IGST no need to take. Suppose if the transaction is supply, if the transaction is supply, okay, the transaction is supply, but it is exempted. The transaction is supply, but it is exempted. Write in exam as to why it is exempted. And value you take, why? Because exempted turnover will help us in determining ITC reversal. So, do take, but CGST, SGST, IGST column nothing. It is supply, but it is taxable under RCM. Taxable under RCM. Take it in value column. Why you need to take it in value column? It will be treated as exempted for ITC computation. Outward supply covered under RCM is treated as exempted for ITC computation, but don't add the liability. Why no need to add liability? It will be added to recipient liability, so it is not added to our liability. Suppose if it is supply, taxable under FCM, you take that and do the computation. Either CGST, SGST will come or IGST will come, okay. And now you do the total of this, so that you will know what is your gross GST payable under FCM. So, you need to complete a table like this. That is the first thing that you need to do. So, while reading the question itself, you mark as to which table it will be coming, table 1 or table 2 or table 3 or table 4, only 3 tables. Table 4 is actually computation of net GST payable, okay. So, you read this first, that is while reading each and every transaction. So, you need to write where it will come, statement 1, or statement 2 or statement 3, like that. If you note, again once you are reading the question, you mark this. Once you prepare the table, you know your eye will automatically go for 1 1 1 1 wherever you have written, that only you will fill. Okay. Then next, statement number 2, second statement, computation of GST payable on inward supplies, computation of GST payable on inward supplies, computation of GST payable on inward supplies under RCM, under RCM. As this is inward supply, you don't bother about the value column, irrelevant, waste, it's of no use for us. Outward supply details are useful for doing reverse, but inward supply will not be useful anywhere. Moreover, it will not be taken in aggregate turnover computation also, and this will be taken in aggregate turnover computation. You know where it will help you? If the turnover, taxable turnover exceeds 50 lakhs, rule 86B, 1% of your liability you need to pay through cash ledger. That point it will be helping us. So when you have written, wherever you have taxable turnover, you can just calculate. If it is exceeding 50 lakhs, we have to apply that 1% of liability through cash ledger. There it will help us. Okay. Next, computation of GST payable on inward supplies, simple particulars, CGST, SGST and IGST. So you see the respective transaction, and after that you need to check only those transactions which will be covered under RCM. First you need to take inward supplies. Suppose if that inward supply is again not a supply, will you bring it here? No. So if the inward supply, that is inward transaction, not a supply, you will not bring it here, correct? Respond pa. Then inward supply, check whether it is exempted. Sir, for inward also should we see? Yes, for inward also you should see whether it is exempted or not. If it is exempted, you don't have to pay GST na, under RCM also, correct? Moreover, you will not take it in ITC also. Am I right? First of all, you are not paying GST. They will give paid to staff a salary of 4 lakhs. Not a supply. Salary not a supply. So you will not at all take it. Or received services from government in relation to safety certificate 60,000. Exempted means first of all we are not paying GST there. You understood? So like that you need to see. Then inward supply, taxable FCM, don't bring. Don't bring, because we are talking about RCM liability, don't bring. Then inward supply, taxable RCM, take it. Take it in the respective columns. Take it in the respective columns and do the total. And here this inward supply, taxable under FCM and RCM is there na, both. These both will go to third statement ITC. These both will go to third statement also, because whenever we pay GST under FCM, we can take as ITC. Whatever GST we paid under RCM can also be taken as ITC. So these two will travel to third statement, But in the second statement, actually when it is taxable under FCM, you don't take. You don't take. Should we write note? No. No need to write note also related to this, or if you want to write, it's up to you. But if you are not writing also, it's okay. But here for everything you need to write the note. Outward supply, everything you need to write the note. For inward supply, not necessary, but no sir, I on safer side I will write sir, right, nothing wrong in that, okay. And it should be like half of the page is particulars, remaining half of the page 3 columns, okay. Manage the space also properly, because it so happens that you will see, give a small column, when you start writing the notes, one note itself will come in one page, okay. So that's why please plan it. Half a page is for particulars, there you will give all the explanation. Remaining half page 3 columns, CGST, SGST, IGST, okay. Next, now the third statement. Third statement, that is computation of input tax credit availed and reversed. So in single statement you need to do that, availed and reversed. Here also same, particulars, CGST, SGST, IGST. So whatever inward supply that is taxable under FCM, inward supply taxable under FCM, again check eligible for ITC. So it is not eligible for ITC, say not eligible for ITC. Why is it not eligible for ITC? T1, T2, T3, what is that? Non-business purpose, exempted, that is inward supply purely is for exempted or block credit. First of all, you should write the note and don't take, don't avail it, okay. Then inward supply taxable under FCM, eligible for ITC, what is that? Either T4 or common credit, C2, correct. Exclusively used for taxable or used for both taxable and exempted, etc. You take that. Then next, inward supply under RCM. Just because you pay GST under RCM, not necessary that it should be eligible. For example, I will tell you, we saw that. We paid GTA services, GST under RCM for transportation of exempted goods. GTA services availed for transportation of exempted goods. We pay GST on GTA service, but in turn it is used for what purpose? Exempted goods. Means we should not take ITC. Even though it is RCM liability, again check is it eligible or ineligible, okay. So the same first and second you need to do for RCM as well. So you write there FCM or RCM, same computation. Let it be FCM or RCM, you need to do these two things, okay. Then this you call as ITC availed. This you call as ITC availed. Then you do ITC reversed. So you know when there will be ITC reversal? Based on first statement itself, you will know whether there will be ITC reversal or not. In the first statement, if there is exempted and supply under RCM, are you getting this here? In the first statement, if there is exempted supplies or supply under RCM, definitely there will be reversal, definitely, because there will be common services, inward supplies. So reversal will definitely arise. See, not necessary every question, every adjustment needs to be there, but the template is common. This template is common. Some adjustment may be there, some adjustment may not be there. So reversal may not arise also sometimes. Okay. So minus ITC reversed. Minus ITC reversed. So what? C2 into E by F, correct? Common credit into exempted turnover divided by total turnover. So you do the reversal. When you do the reversal, you will get the final answer as net eligible ITC. Net eligible ITC. Okay, boss? This is step 3, computation of input tax credit availed and reversed. Now, last computation, computation of net GST payable. Statement 4. Statement 4, computation of net GST payable. Net GST payable. So what we need to do is that same particulars, CGST, SGST, IGST. First we need to take gross GST payable under FCM. This is actually as per statement 1. In first statement, you have done something na, that is a gross GST payable under FCM. That should be brought down here. Minus ITC utilized. ITC utilized. While utilizing ITC, check. Rule 86B applicability. Rule 86B applicable. Rule 86B applicable. How much you will use? 99% of liability. So rule 86B not applicable. We can use 100% of liability, the ITC. You understood? But in this ITC, GST paid under RCM is also there. And from where this IT is utilized, you will get third statement. Third statement you will get IT is utilized. In the third statement, second statement data is also already there. Correct. Then, so you utilize the ITC. Sir, what if you don't have that much of ITC? The question of 86B will not come. You know, when the question of 86B will come, if you have equal to liability or excess ITC, then only 86B will come. Already there is a shortfall, means you have to anyhow pay, then why you apply 86B? Not applicable. Then add GST payable under RCM. This GST payable under RCM, from which statement we will be getting? Statement 2. If you add this, it will be the total, that is net GST payable. Net GST payable Okay, pa? Just stick on to this. Now, while reading the question itself, at that stage itself, you should know where it will come. Like final accounts, when you read trial balance, you know now where you will put, correct, like that. While reading itself, you should visualize where it should be coming. Then, while doing the answer, you will be able to do, because you have only half an hour.